Just a quick one. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'm going to open by saying I'm looking around the room today, and each and every one of you are looking absolutely fantastic. And it's no and it's no coincidence, and really it is no coincidence, because you've all been handpicked. No, it's the truth, because roughly about 2 weeks ago I was summoned to Tom's house. He said, listen Mick, you're best man, but you've got to go on a crash course in a solarium before the wedding. And in fact, I don't think he put it quite gently as that, because he said, if my memory serves me correct, I can't have your pasty white face ruining the wedding. And I know you're all standing there looking at me thinking, well, why have you still got a white pasty face? and my excuse, and it did suffice because I am here with a white pasty face, I do agree, was that if I was to go on a sunbed 2 weeks ago, I'd be standing here with the burns, because they wouldn't have healed in 2 weeks' time. And Tom had the same excuse. The scars wouldn't have healed in 2 weeks' time. Okay, now on to the real compliments. Annie, Nikki, absolutely outstanding. The flowers, but the pair of you look absolutely stunning. I've got to say, absolutely fantastic. Blown away. Yeah. To add to that, the flower girls, Lily and Ava, absolutely gorgeous, the pair of them. And they're all outshone only by one person in the room today, and it's not Tom. So sit down, son, alright? From the collar down, you look alright, mate. But Steph, nothing short of breathtaking today. You're absolutely stunning, and I think we should raise a glass again, to be honest, because words are lost. No, but traditionally, I should really say a few nice words at this point about Tom. And I did hit a bit of a writer's block. So I turned to a good friend of Tom's. He's known him for many years, like myself. And we collided together, and we come up with a few good ones, but mostly not on my behalf. So I'd like to say that, Tom, you are genuine, loyal, devilishly good looking, and he's also well hung. Big thanks to Kieran for helping me out. Cheers, mate. I owe you one. To those who don't know me, I'm Mike. I'm Tom's best man. Well, I say Tom's best man. As you know, I'm only one of two best men. So I'm afraid you'll have to endure 2 long, boring speeches today. And for that, I'd like to apologise on Tom's behalf. But you've heard Tom's, and Ben will be with you in a minute, so just hold on. My first memory of Tom, well, what I think is my first memory of Tom, I've got to cast you back 17 years or so. And I met Tom through school in St George's. And I met him in year 4, what was then lower sight. But year 5 is upper sight, so you move. And the upper sight had a bit of a stigma attached to it. Demon headmasters, strict rules, you couldn't mess around. On the first day I went in expecting the worst, but it wasn't too bad, bit of a breeze. The second day was a little bit different. As I got dropped off to school, I heard this bellowing, the bellowing of a teacher, a demon head teacher. And I see the crowds, and I walk through the crowds, and I see Tom on the end of this bellowing from this teacher. And this teacher had, I won't mention her, some of you may know this teacher, but she had a monobrow. And it was magnified by these glasses. We used to call them Deirdres. And Tom's at the end of this with his hands in his pockets. Looks like a stiff breeze will blow him over. And I turned to one of the boys who was standing in this crowd and said, what's going on here? He said, he's been caught reading a comic book. And I thought to myself, I thought, 11-year-old boy's been caught reading a comic book, and this is the reaction. I thought, oh, pardon the French, but geez Louise. Anyway, so for the next 6 or 7 weeks I was treading on eggshells, wondering what was going to go on in this devilishly strict oversight. And I got to know Tom at this point, and I found out the truth. It was no comic book. it was no comic book, but it was hentai. Was it hentai? It was hentai. So anyway, but he wriggled out of that one, and Tom always did, because he was quite a lucky lad. He always has been a lucky lad, and since he left school, that hasn't changed. All you got to do, witness here today, all you got to do is look at Stefan to realise he is such a lucky man. And even Tom said he's punching above his weight. He is truly punching above his weight. and Tom knows this, and he always did know it. He knew it when he was a young boy, because back when he was 14, he spent as much money on it then as he does today. A good example of this was on his first Valentine's Day, where he saved up all his pocket money, and he went to the local corner shop and he bought a beautiful rose in a vase. His mum took him there and he picked it up. It was £3.99, and he bought a card to go with it, 99 pence. And he spent the rest of that tenner on Premier League stickers. But he did get David Unsworth, David Weir, and a good shine. Upon delivery of the rose, he made a bit of a confession to Gaynor, because she delivered him to deliver the rose outside Penker Road, which was once Steph's home. And he was sat in the car outside. His sweat was pouring, you know. Didn't check his undies. But Gaynor turned to Tom worried. He said, "You alright, son?" And he turned and said, "Mum, she's their mum." And that's what convinced us all and confessed that he knew he was punching above his weight. But he wasn't alone. Steph wanted to spend every minute with Tom just as much as he wanted to spend every minute with her. So much so that she used to ring Moslin School and pretend to be Gaynor. And they were caught. I don't know if any of the parents know about this, but they were definitely caught in the act. And yeah, she used to say sick notes, dental records, whatever, so they could spend time under the tree on Belvedere Field or whatever. All that time we thought they were cracking the books, and instead they were cracking nuts. There was one person who was devastated to hear about their companionship, and that was Tom's previous love. And I'm sorry to say, Steph, but you're not the love of Tom's life. You're really not, because he had to cast someone aside to make room for you. I'd like to introduce you to someone who's been whispering in my ear. And you've been whispering in my ear, what the hell is she doing? Who the hell does she think she is? And it's Tom's long lost love. It's Bowie the bear. Been with Tom for many, many years. And he was still absolutely devastated when Steph came along. And at this point he was passed down to Annie, Tom's sister. Hi Annie. It was a difficult change having to revert to heterosexuality. But, but Bluey persevered, and the reason he persevered was because Annie still lived under the same roof as Tom in Gainer's home. And whilst he was under the same roof, he still had a glimmer of hope and a little bit of chance of maybe rekindling his long lost love with Tom. And that day did come, because at the ripe old age of 22 years of old, at the ripe old age of 22, Tom, he spread his wing and he became an independent man, and he moved house. And he was back in his boxes on the very last day. He got halfway down the road with the very last shipment of what was going to his new home. And he stood at the door. The man comes to a grinding halt, reverses very, very quickly back up the top of the road. Tom storms out the van and says, "Where the hell is Bluey? He's coming with me." And he still lives at home with Tom and Steph. You're going to have to share them, Steph. You do know that for the rest of these days. Bluey is also growing old with you, but he's not the only one. It's going to be a four-way relationship, because we've also got I don't remember his name, Gaynor, can you help me out? Funny Buddy! Not very funny now, is he, Tom? Sexy little boy, like, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna move on to a little bit of bit of seriousness and offer some words of advice.